Hey everybody, this is Fancy Pants in the game Ant Legion. This is another one of the funner games that are in the Ant Legion events section of the game, and this one is Ant Solitaire. This is fairly new since I've started playing last year, and it is a lot of fun. I mean, it's addicting, so I'm so glad when it comes along, and it's kind of relaxing. It's a nice break from the all the battles and things like that, and reaching the deadlines, and of course this one has a deadline too. As you can see, there's 9 hours left on this one. So, and you get this one does get free restoration temps every 3 hours. So I just started this one. I'm going to continue it. I am on stage 6 because this was started going yesterday, and they get harder as you go. So I'm not having high hopes of reaching this one, but there are great rewards in this event. And these it gives you, for one, diamonds, which are always great, and speed ups because we have um, the main event in Ace Ant will be coming up. It's Friday, and I believe that's on Sunday, which would be Saturday night's reset for me. Um, so the speed ups are great because you have to do your research and your army training and your building on that day, the final day. So those are fantastic, and diamonds are always welcome. And these rare specialized eggs are so hard to get when it becomes time for that event. So this will give you them, which we really need. So I'm just gonna hit restart because I just got in there. It's nothing. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I want to continue. Holy cow. Okay. So this is where we're at. And basically, if you've ever played solitaire before, you get the idea. You start with the number down here, and then you either go above it or below it. And you look up here. Now, one thing you want to look for is just like any tile game or anything like that, you want to see what's buried underneath. So I first would go for ones that I can see is going to open a card underneath it. Whereas that two up there won't, which I can't use anyway. But I'm saying if that was a number that we could use, um, we would go more for one like down here or over here that we can see a card's going to open underneath. So we got a 6. We want to go. Okay, now I got to think here for 1 second. It does take a little brain work because you can go up or down. And when you take all these numbers in as a whole, I can see I don't have any 8. So 7 is going to be the highest I can go. So I want to go 6, 7, then back down to 6, and then 5, 4, and then I could either go 3, 2. And then in the meantime, we're going to see what opens up also, or at once we get to that level of 4, then I can either go down to the 3 or back up to the 5, because that's still going to leave me another 5, I believe, if I said that right. But as I do this, you will understand. So I'm either going to go 5, 6, 7. I can't, and then there's another 6, and then I can go 5, 4. Okay, well, let's just play this out. I'm going to see where these open up at. So I'm going to go high first here. Now it opens up a 4, and then I'm going to go back down to 6. Now the queen's not going to help us right now. Then I'm going to go to 7 because then I can still drop back down to 6 here. And see, now it's giving me more cards from up there. Now if I do this again, it's going to give me 2 extra cards. And what we want is as many cards as we get down here, because once we can't do anything more up here, we can open these down here. So that's what we're working towards right now. So now I got a 6. Now I'm going to go. Now I'm not going to take that middle 5. It'll open up one card there. So I could, but I'm going to take this one down here, I think. Because I'm going to have to make a choice. Now I got to do 5. Okay, I'm going to do that. Okay, so now we have 2 2s. Now I'm going to go to 4 because that's all I can do. I can either take the one on the top or the one down here. Now we have 2 5s, so I'm going to go back up to 5. I'll take this one this time. Now we have 2 4s, and then I'm going to go 4. Okay. And now I'm going to go back up to 5. You see how it helps you clear out more if you go up and down. So I'm going to go 5 again because I have another 4. And see, that one didn't open anything under it, and we want to try to open as many as we can. So we want 3 now. Okay, now I have no choice but to take a 2. Now I don't want that one because that's not going to open anything. Because you see the card, this card would need that 10 gone as well, and this one would need the one. I can't hit it because it might go. But that one has a queen on top of it, so that'll hold that down. So I can't take that 2, but I can either take the top one up here, or I can take this bottom one down here. This is going to open 2 cards, so I'm going to go that way. Okay, now I'm to where I can't do anything else. If I had an ace, I could do an ace. Now, if that comes up here, I'm going to see if it does in this next round, because I don't want to keep this really long. You're getting the idea. But if I had an ace, I would hit the ace, and then I could either go back up to a 2, or if there was a queen here, or a king, I'm sorry, here, I could go from the queen to the king. So you can, again, go up or down. And so the ace works either high or low. And then up here, if you see this, these are what fill. Now, if I had 2 more to do, I could have got +3 cards down here. But since I cannot go any farther, there's no 3 and there is no ace, I have to take from this bottom pile. Now I have a 9. See, it cleared this off again. So now we got to start over trying to count up them arrows to that +3. Now with this 9, I can either, it's going to depend on what opens here, because I can either use that 8. I have no other 7. There's no 7s on here, and there's no 9s. So if I take that 8, I'm done if there's not a 7 or a 9 under it. And again, I'm not going to take these 8s because they do not open anything unless I got rid of both of them at the same time, which I cannot. So I'd have to go with that one to open up another card. And then that would stop me unless that's a 7 or a 9. Now I can go up and I could hit this 10 or this 10, which would be this one, because this one's not going to open anything. And then I can hope for a jack or a 9, and then I can continue. So I'm going to do that, and I didn't get it. So now I'm stuck again because I don't have a 9 anywhere and I don't have a jack anywhere. So that one that we got up here is now going to go away again. And now we have a 5. Only thing I can do is take that 6, and it does not open anything, so we have to go back. Now, excuse me, now we have the ace, so now we can do our 2. Now it gave me a king, but I don't have my ace anymore. So now we have 2. The only thing I can do is go to the 3. It doesn't open anything, but it does let me get rid of this 2, which also doesn't open anything. Now these 3 up here are going to go away again. I don't have any 3s, and I don't have any ace to help with that too. Now I got a queen, which I could do the king. Now I can go back down to a queen, either one of these, whatever one you have the feeling about, I guess. Now that was a good one because now I got a jack. So I can take that. Now I can either go back up to a queen, or I can take this 10. Now what I'm going to do is take the 10, because I can then go 9, 8, and then hopefully a 7 or another 9 will open up. If I hit that queen, unless there's a king underneath that or a 10, then I'm done. Or not a 10, I'm sorry. Once I take that queen, I'll either need a king or another jack. And the chances of getting it with just one card under that are a lot slimmer than just taking the 10 and then the 9. And you have to watch these too, because the 9, if you see the heart on that 9, the way it's where it is, because it's hard to tell a 6 from a 9 when they're turned. Sometimes, like this one's upside down, and they kind of trick you sometimes, where you'll see a 6 upside down and it'll look like a 9. But so always look to where the heart symbol or whatever, the diamond or whatever it happens to be, is at on it, because that'll tell you which way it is, which number it is. Okay, so now I have a bunch of 8s. And I can also go to a 10, but if I go to a 10, I'll stop it, because there's no cards under that 10 and there's no 9s on the board. Excuse me. So I'm going to take an 8, and I can take any of these. There's 4 to choose from. Let's go here. That didn't really help us with this run. So now I have to go to a 7, because there are no 9s. So 7. Okay, now we got to go either back up to an 8 or down to a 6. Now, the 6, see, from the 6, I would need another 7 or a 5, and that 6 is not going to open anything. So I'm going to go up instead of down, and I'm going to hit an 8, and then we're going to hope for a 9. And let's go here. Okay, but it gave us a 7, so that'll help us get back to that 6 or another 8. So, but being there's a 5 open, I'll probably go down this time. So there's 7, 6, 5. And that got us a wild card. We got up there through all those diamonds, or arrows, I'm sorry. And so now we got a wild. And when you get to that, it can be anything you want it to be. But now I'm also stuck because there's a 5 and I have no 4s showing and no 3 or 6s showing. So I'm going to hit this. Now I got a 4, but again, I don't have up here any 5s or 3s. So we're going to have to hit another one. Now we're running through these cards, which we don't want to do, but I don't have a choice. Oh, and then I hate when it does that, and it keeps giving you the same ones. Okay, now I have a king. So I do have an ace or a queen. So either I can go queen, king, back down to a queen, depending on what else opens up, or I can go queen, king, ace, and either way. I think what I'm going to do this way is go queen, go down from this king, and then the king again, and then also things will be opening, so this may change, but then an ace, and then from that ace I can go to that 2 if nothing else opens up as a better run in the meantime. So we said we're going to go queen. Now it gave us another ace, so that could change things, but now I have to go king. And now I have to go ace. So, but now we have 2 2s, so that'll work with these aces. I'm going to open up because I want to open 2 up. And now we have to go with a 2. Now these 2s aren't going to open anything, but it will lead me back to this other ace. So I'm going to take that one. And then I'm going to take that. Okay, so now we're back down to an ace. There are no kings. So all I can do is take that 2. That 2 isn't going to open any cards under it. So that's where we're going to have to stop. But that's okay. It's starting a new one, so we aren't missing out on too much there. All right, so let's just do one more for you to get the idea. Now, again, we have a 7. We either can do a 6 up there or an 8 down here. And one's just really about as good as the other. So let's do that. And now we are stopped again. I don't have a 7 or a 9. So, because there's a queen, there's a queen, and then, okay, now here we're at the wild. Now you just hit it, and then we look at what we have up here. Where would it best serve us? Where could we make the best run? Don't really have much. That's not giving me a great one to work with here. Let's see. Hmm. I don't really see any runs I can do. It's basically giving you a clean slate to just use what's on the board, but I don't have any runs. So we're going to try to use one that we possibly could get something to work with. Now, a 9 with this 10 would help us use this 8 or the queen. So we're going to use this 10 because it's going to give me the most cards to open. It is going to open 2 cards at the top there and next to it, whereas all the rest that I could open are only going to give me 1. And plus, if I get something under it, it'll let me use either that 8 or that queen. So let's try that. But it didn't help us with that. So now we're going to have to hit that again. We got a king. We can either go ace or we can go queen. See, a lot of this is just some of it's chance, some of it's actually thinking it through and your best probability. If you remember that word from like grade school, and we had to do probability, and I think it was science or something. Science for a project was always the best to do because it was easy. Okay, so king, I'm going to do that. Okay, that one worked for us. So now we're going to go, we want that jack. Okay, so now we can go jack 10 or we can do jack queen. Either way is not going to open us any more cards. That there's no nines, so that 10 is not going to, and there's no more jacks, so that 10 isn't going to lead us anywhere else. These are sixes and not nines. So, and then that queen, again, there's no other jacks and there's no kings. So either one is going to make us stop and we're going to lose those moving ahead points. But I'm going to take the 10 and then now we're stuck. So we'll just try the next one. 3, 4, and then we want to go back. We're going to have to go back down to 3. Now it's giving us a 2, so that's good. It's letting us play again. So we're going to take that 2. Now we can either go to the 3 or the ace, and we're going to go for the ace because there's 2 of them, and we have a better chance of getting a king. We could use that queen or the other ace. So try that, and it didn't help us there. One more, 5. We can do 6, or the other 6 I really should have done because it would have opened up 2. But in this case, we can anyway because I'm going to play that 5 and then I'm going to use that 6. Now, again, we have a 5, no 7s, so I have to use the 5 and it will not open anything, and that kind of sucks because then we're going to lose out on all those arrows we already built up there. But we do not have a choice, and we only needed one more to get another card down here. So we have to do that and lose them. And now we can either do the ace or the 3. I'm going to do the ace, hoping for a king, but that's okay because this 2 will work. And then the 3. And now we have a 4. And now we have a 3 again, and that will stop us, but it's going to give us that last arrow, which gives us one more card. It's keeping us in the game here. So are we rooting for ourselves? Yes, but we have 5 cards, and it's getting really difficult now because now we have to work with this 3. 7, that's good. I'm going to take this 8, open up 2 cards. Now we're back down to, I got a 7 here, so I'm going to take that. Now this 8, we need a 9 under it to make us, to be able to use that 10, jack, and queen, and king. That would be our ideal here. If not, we're going to stop at this 8 probably. And it, oh, that would have been so perfect. Okay, but we got what we got. So let's see here, 2. Uh-oh. Okay, queen. I mean, queen. Oh, ace. Now we're going to go king. King. Let me make sure I'm yes. Okay. We didn't want to take that king because there's no cards underneath it to open. We know that it is what it is. So now this queen, I could take either one. This one will open 2. This one will open 1. Again, it's chance, really, but your odds are better taking the 2. So I'm going to take this queen, and it gave us another king. So now we're going to take either the jack. We're going to take the jack because then I can do jack, queen, king. Otherwise, I'll be doing king and then queen, jack, and then I need another queen. Either way, I guess. So queen, we'll go jack because that's going to open 2. Okay, and now I can do 10, but that'll stop us. Whereas if I go queen, now I'm getting a jack. Now I can do jack 10, or I can go king and hope for another queen or an ace, and it's going to open 2 rather than take the jack that's already there, but it'll also give me one over here. So that'll be 1, 2, 3 cards I'm getting rid of. This will be king for sure, and then whatever is 2 are under that, uh, I'll be able to see, but they're not for sure. So, I'm gonna do, oh, the decisions. King, I need a queen or an ace under that king if I open it. I'm gonna do this. So that was a for sure to get one card, but 10. Now I'm stuck again. I don't even want to see what was under that king, because if it was a queen or an ace, I'm going to be very upset. Okay, now I can do 6 or an 8. See, it's constant decisions. Now, if I was keeping track of what already opened, I'd probably be in a better position. So that might be a good idea for you to do. And I might try that next time. Actually, that'd be a good way to kind of cheat, huh? Oh, look how close. Sometimes I've been down to one card and lost. Oh, that's so frustrating. So yeah, maybe if you count cards, that might be a good idea. But anyway, so now you understand how to play, and good luck to you. I hope you have better luck than that round was. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.